Hey there, welcome to a special follow-up edition of the SUP Radio Show. I'm your host, Leslie Kolovich. Today I follow up with Dave Cornthwaite from the United Kingdom, whom I spoke with a few months ago about his upcoming adventure to SUP the entire length of the Mississippi River. Well, the time has come. He sets out bright and early, June 20th, starting at Lake Itasca, Minnesota, and into the headwaters of the Mississippi River. For 85 days, he'll be paddling a total distance of 2,400 miles. That's the near equivalent of New York to Los Angeles, London to Baghdad, or Brisbane to Perth. This is the fourth journey of his Expedition 1000 project. He's doing this for a great cause, the AV Foundation, where they work to improve infrastructure in sub-Saharan African schools, and COPA to continue to break down barriers and increase awareness about detecting breast cancer early. He's also an ambassador for the Blue Project, combining sport and travel to get people looking after themselves and the environment around them. So keep it right here for Dave Cornthwaite on this special follow-up edition of the SUP Radio Show. Hey Dave, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm awesome, and I can't believe that the time has finally come for the Mississippi River. It seems like the last time we spoke, you and your friend Sebastian Terry were about to pedal the tandem bike from Vancouver to Las Vegas.
That's very true. A lot's happened since then. I think we spoke in late March. I did indeed pedal 1,400 miles in 14 days to Vegas, and that was nice and safe. I'm glad to say I'm now at Lake Itasca, the source of the Mississippi, and early tomorrow morning I start off on a 2,400-mile stand-up paddle. I just can't wait.
I know you can't wait. That's a huge undertaking, and I was reading on your website that it is something that you're a little bit nervous about. You got some nerves going.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's natural to be nervous about things that we don't quite understand, the unknown, and but they're healthy nerves. I think if I was just going into this bold and brash, then I think maybe that would be a little silly. There's plenty of obstacles to face over the next 3 months, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident, and I'm not quite so nervous now. I'm here at Itasca. All I've got to do is sleep, eat, and paddle for the next 3 months.
Right on. Let's talk a little bit about how you've been preparing for this. I'm sure there's been a lot of research been going on of, the route you should take and all that kind of stuff. Tell us a little bit about the prep for this expedition.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess the preparation started with my first ever endurance journey, and I've been doing this for about 5 years now. So in terms of dealing mentally with the distance to come, I think I'm settled with that. It's just a bit of a mindset, and I'm positive about that. With the Mississippi itself, this is the first time that I've ever seen it. I've not been to this part of America before, so I've been doing a lot of online reading, also talking to people who live on and around the river. Most people are very cautious. They're a little bit afraid for me, but that tends to be the situation wherever I'm traveling and trying to do these long distance things. If you haven't exactly done that kind of thing before, then it's natural to be fearful for others who are about to go and try something new. But I've been doing a lot of reading, and I'm prepared. I'm going to be doing about 30 miles a day for the next 85 days or so, camping on the side where possible, and I'm pretty comfortable with it all.
All right, very good. Well, and as you know, the Mississippi has been in high flood state and has been causing some great damage along its banks. What are your thoughts about the flooding of the Mississippi River?
Well, it's been all over the news in the UK. I only flew out a couple of days ago, so of course there's a huge amount of flooding and damage that's gone on, and I want to be really sensitive to that. It certainly has changed the scope of the river in terms of my expedition. Dry sandbanks where I would have camped are now washed away. I've had to kind of rejig a few things logistically, but part of my aim, I'm an ambassador for the Blue Project, which is a climate and oceans initiative based in the UK. And the idea is to incorporate sport and travel and then create, I guess, an educational story on every single water journey that I do. So this is no different, and I think the Mississippi is the focus of worldwide attention, whereas perhaps a few months it wasn't. So it's, in a sense, it's a really good opportunity to bring awareness of the Mississippi and the communities along it, and of course what's happened with the flooding, to a wider audience, and hopefully make people understand the situation more.
Oh, yeah, very good. And tell us a little bit about, what you're going to be carrying with you. Are all your supplies going to be on your board? Or are you going to have a follow boat? Or how's that all working?
No support team at all. I've got 2 dry bags, one 75-litre and one 50-litre, and everything I need will be in those 2 bags, one on the front of the board and one on the back. It's just a beautifully simple way to travel, and I think that kind of sums it up. There's no working parts on this journey apart from in my body, so hopefully that will hold up. It's a lovely, simple journey. The only bit where I'm going to have, I guess, a little bit of support is up the top here. The headwaters run about 60 miles from Lake Itasca in Minnesota down to Bemidji, and those 60 miles, the river is at best 3 meters wide, and there's grasses growing through. There's beaver dams. The water's quite high at the moment, but it's only about 2 foot deep. So it's going to be a bit of a slog for the first couple of days, maybe 3 days. So I won't be carrying every bit of my kit with me. I'll just have the essentials on my board, and just to try and keep it as light and quick as possible.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about the board you're going to be paddling on. I know you were having a contest to name the board. Do we have a name for it yet?
We do. It's just been revealed. The board is 14 foot long and 32 inches wide. It's a Lakeshore River Rover. And the name of the board, and this is the first time it's ever been announced, actually, is officially Artemis. Which I'm so happy with this board. It's going to be my best friend for the next 3 months. It's the same bright yellow as the skateboard I used to cross Australia and the kayak I used to paddle the Murray River in Australia. So we've got a little bit of a theme developing from journey to journey. But I met the board on Friday and had a quick paddle on the Mississippi down in Minneapolis, and she's just beautiful. We're very good friends already, and I can't wait to start the journey on her.
Wonderful. Artemis, great. Well, you heard it first here, right? Very good. And so how did that name actually get chosen?
Well, I've got a bit of I guess I was talking about developing a theme with all of the transportations that I'm using, and every board so far has been named after a cat of sorts. So my skateboard was called Elsa, after the lioness in the Born Free story from Kenya. Mm-hmm. And then my kayak was called Nala, which is Simba's best friend in The Lion King. And I just thought I'd continue the catty theme, and just opened up a competition on my website, and all kinds of names came through. We narrowed them down to 4 after 1 week, and those 4 were Artemis, Sylvester, and what else did we have? We had Mr. Bigglesworth, which I believe is the cat belonging to the evil guy in Austin Powers, and also Garfield, a big fat lazy animal. So we did one final 2-day vote on my Facebook page, Expedition 1000, and Artemis was a clear winner, with Mr. Bigglesworth not far off in second, actually.
Oh, that's funny. That's great. Awesome. So, I know that you're also trying to raise money for this journey as well for some wonderful causes. You have the AV Foundation and Copperfield Foundation.
That's right. These charities mean a huge amount to me, and there's always been some questions leading up to this expedition, and a few people think that I'm raising money to fund the expedition, and then everything on top of that goes to the charities. That's not the case. I draw a really thick line between all of the charitable funds raised and the cost of the expedition. Those are cost by myself and covered by myself and sponsors on occasion. Every single cent raised for the charities goes to the charities. So the AV Foundation I've been working with for about 10 years. They're based in Africa, and we develop drinking water systems and infrastructure in schools. And Copperfield is set up by my good friend Chris. She's 23. Last year she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it had been misdiagnosed twice in the year previous, and by the time they caught it, it was quite far on. So Chris set up Copperfield just to encourage people to understand their bodies. Men can get breast cancer as well, so mm-hmm. it applies to both men and women, right. Just to understand if there's any abnormalities and make sure they're caught early. Overall, I've got a project called Expedition 1000, and this Mississippi stand-up journey is the 4th journey of a 25-journey project. Each journey at least 1,000 miles in length, every one of them using a different form of non-motorized transport. So I'm hoping to raise $1 million UK pounds, about 1.5 million US dollars in total. So please go to my website, davecornthwaite.com, and make a little donation. Every dollar counts.
Absolutely. And, you're an amazing person. I've told you this before, and the last time, every time I speak with you, it's just like, wow. You are a really incredible person. I'm so glad that we've been able to communicate and help you spread this good word about what you're doing.
Oh, I'm just delighted to be speaking to you, Leslie. It's all been a bit of a whirlwind for me. I've just arrived at Lake Itasca, which I've only ever seen before on a Google map. So it's all just coming into stark focus for me now. There's no turning back. I'm just so eager to get on the way, and I don't think I've ever been quite so excited about a journey before. It's just going to be wonderful.
Nice. And so it's an 85-day journey. That's what you're hoping for, you're shooting for. Yeah,
absolutely. Hopefully it won't go too far over that because I've got a visa to stick to. So obviously there's fairly high waters in the river, so it's running pretty fast in places. So obviously if it's flooding in places, that actually slows the flow down. So we'll just have to see. I'll paddle hard, and I'll attempt to reach the Gulf of Mexico just south of New Orleans by early September.
Oh, right. And so tell us also that people can join you either on the Mississippi or in their own way.
Yeah, we've got a program called the Blue Mile. Now, a Blue Mile is a mile traveled on the water without a motor. So what I'm trying to do is basically turn this journey into Forrest Gump on a stand-up paddleboard. We'll get as many people on the water as possible, whether it's on a stand-up board or a kayak or a canoe. Just get people out experiencing the Mississippi, maybe raising some sponsorship per mile for the charities, but also just enjoying the journey, being a part of it, linking communities with 10, 15-mile paddles. And, yeah, absolutely anyone can join in. I've got a tracker on my website, so as soon as I start tomorrow morning, I'll ping a little marker onto my Google map on my website, and people can see exactly where I am and exactly where I'm going to be. So if you're down the river, if you're downstream, and you have even the slightest inclination to join me on this, even if it's just for 1 mile or 500 meters, then please do.
Right on. Are you taking a laptop with you on your board?
Yeah, I am. I've got a little bit of gear just so I can share the stuff. I used to be a graphic designer, so I look after my website from my MacBook. It's beautiful. It's just my office, really. I just pull over to the banks of the river, edit some videos, just share the beauty of the Mississippi and also the stories from the journey and the communities I pass through. So I'll be doing all of that wirelessly, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Very good. Well, is there anything else that you would like to tell people before you actually hit the water Monday morning?
Wow, I'm just, I guess I'm just blown away with the beauty of this part of the world. I've never been here before, and I guess that's what it's all about. I want to get out of my comfort zone and experience new things, and that's exactly what's about to happen. But it doesn't happen without a lot of support from friends and strangers, and I've already been helped by the England family over here. That's not England as in the country, it's ENGLUND. They're just a guy who found me on the internet, and Dave's actually going to be paddling with me for the first week. Other people have just come out of the woodwork and just been so helpful. So I definitely wouldn't be able to do this without all of their support, and I just hope that I continue to make new friends all the way down the river.
Wonderful. And Dave, a lot of Americans have not seen the places that you're going to be as well. And so you're going to be showcasing places within our country that many Americans have never seen as well. So, it's a great thing that you're doing for many people who live right here.
Well, I hope so. I guess, I'm really enthusiastic and passionate about what's about to happen. I just hope that even in a small way rubs off on people down the river who've been talking about maybe seeing the Mississippi for a while but haven't yet done it. So it's all about action. Words only get us so far, and I'll definitely be doing my bit to make sure that people appreciate the Mississippi a little more.
Right on, because I have only crossed it like in St. Louis and crossed it when I was over down in lower Mississippi going to in the New Orleans area, and just bits and pieces of it. So someone who's going to be able to see every inch of it, that's impressive. Oh, well,
I can't wait to start, and I know the next 2.5 months is going to be just a huge adventure. And hey, even if there's stand-up paddle crews listening to this who are based on the West Coast or the East Coast, get together, guys. hire a van for a week and come down and paddle the Mississippi, do a couple of 100 miles, and it will be the adventure of a lifetime. I just love to see people from all over the states join in on this. I think it's going to gain momentum as I begin, and it's all down to you lot, really. So please come and join me. I'll be lonely otherwise.
We don't want you to be lonely. No. Okay, again, your website to be able to watch everything that's happening is, go ahead.
Yes, I guess the three main sites are my website, which is www.davecornthwaite.com. I'm also on Facebook. The group is called Expedition 1000, no spaces. And I'm on Twitter. My handle is @DaveCorn as well. So I guess there's going to be little bits of content on all three of those. So DaveCornthwaite.com, please get on there, send us a message, get involved, come paddle, make a donation, even sponsor some miles. We're selling the miles from the journey for $1 or £1 per mile. And what I'll do is send you a picture taken during your very own section of the journey, and all of those donations go straight to the charities as well.
Wonderful.
So many ways to be involved.
All right. Well, great. And we will definitely follow you and keep track of you on the show, and send me messages so I can announce to people too. And we'll follow you for sure. Wish you the very best.
Leslie, thanks so much. And I remember the first time we spoke, we had a little conversation about perhaps doing the first ever mobile stand-up paddle radio show. So maybe we'll get you floating on the river with me, and we'll do a show right from the middle of the Mississippi.
I know, we got to work that out. I will see what we can do. We got to find some people out there who can help us make that happen. That would be so fun.
Let's do it.
Okay, Dave, thanks so much for your time. Get some sleep, and you got a big morning on Monday.
I do, and a big 3 months.
3 months.
It's going to be great. That's a long morning.
That's a long morning. Take care, Dave. Talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.